There's things in our world today that we need to be worried about on top of. Things like family, politics, finances, and even what's going on in our communities. But there's an issue that's going on that people is ignoring. And those that are not ignoring it, 10% of those people, or at least a good percentage of them, are putting the blame on somebody else. That issue is child obesity. Child obesity is a problem because many adults in today's society doesn't see it as a problem, but it definitely is a problem. We all need to know the severity of child obesity, what we can do to help, and what the consequences are if we don't get involved. We need to educate ourselves so we can help our children make better choices so they can live successful lives. As the Heart Association states, small changes can lead to a recipe for success. Child obesity is not just a weight issue. It starts out with a weight issue, but then it leads to other problems. Things as drug abuse and many other problems. The child starts to become overweight because we as adults don't help them watch what they eat, and we don't show them how to be active, nor do we get active with them. And so then things get worse. They can become obese adults. According to Family Doctor, the risk of being overweight or obese as an adult are greater if excess weight is gained during childhood or teenage years. But the weight is not the only issue. A lot of times they get depressed and start to feel lonely, and even sometimes feel suicidal. Child obesity is a severe issue because we could lose our youth over something we can help fix. Joanna Dogoff writes in the Huffington Post that less than 10% of all cases of child obesity are due to known genetic defects. So it is influence and our lack of someone helping the child that causes the child to become overweight. We can help children with obesity by being better examples. Showing our children and the children around us how to eat healthier and be active is good examples of how we can help them. I know what some of you are thinking. I don't have children, so I don't have to be an influence. But you are so wrong. Even though you do not have children, there's children around you. Your neighbors have children. People in public that you see have children, and even your nieces and nephews. When these children see you go to fast food restaurants, you're not working out, you're not being active in the community, they see what you're doing, and a lot of times they mimic what we do. So you can make a change for you, and that change could be a change that could affect a little one in your life, either directly or indirectly. So why not make some changes, especially if they're for the good? What is there to actually lose? Here's the problem. If we don't make changes to help our youth, we will lose them. According to the Mayo Clinic, in an article they wrote in February of 2014, when children lose hope that their lives will improve, they may become depressed. This depression is what causes them to turn to drugs, alcohol, and yes, even suicide. Child obesity is something that we can help fight. We can make changes for ourselves that in return shows children the better choices for themselves. We could be better role models and just be supportive to their feelings and helping them to make the necessary changes for them to overcome obesity. But if we fail to help them, who will help them? Child obesity is not a laughing matter. It is a very, very serious matter, and I hope that all of you will take a stand with me and help spread information about child obesity, the severity in it, what we can do to help, and what happens if we don't. Even if you start out with a small change and eventually make it into something bigger, be that positive role model that leads by example and is supportive to those children that are already suffering in more ways than one, in more ways than we may not even know. Changes start with us, and when our youth sees us make those necessary changes, then they will start to make those changes themselves.